I'm doing this video in English because I believe if you want to speak English rapidly and easily, then of course at least you understand the other person speaking English. And that's very good already. That's the first step that will make you also speaking English rapidly, because as I always say, in English there are 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, writing, in that order. If you can listen, then you will be able to speak. In this video, I'll share with you from my personal experience how I got to speak English. Like I make the other person understand me, and not in a boring way. So I'm trying to speak a little bit rapidly. Practice, practice, practice. The more you speak, the more confident you become. Find opportunities that will make you speak the language with native speakers if you know some, or you can just even like speak on the internet with other people. There are many programs, like for example Duolingo. I always mention it. There is a place in Duolingo where you can meet other people, like in a virtual meeting, speak with them, and that is very good, and it's all for free. So you gotta use that and try to speak with other people, especially with natives. And if you have some friends who are also learning the language, if you are in a place like, for example, in Yemen, where no one speaks English or there are no natives, try to find a friend who also wants to learn the language and who also has a good level in the language, and try just to speak with them in the language, in English. And that's what I did when I was in Yemen. I had a friend who speaks very good English, and we were just speaking in English, never in Arabic, like going out, doing stuff, all in English. That's how you learn the language. In one of my interviews, I had one of the guests, he said that you can't learn the language in class, you have to learn it with other people. And I believe that as well. When you are in a situation where the other person, you want to speak the language, you have to speak the language. Not like when you are in a class doing a presentation prepared before. That's not the same thing. That's very different. And that's what I did with French, for example. Now, when I came to France, I've been like speaking with French people and going out with them. And that is how you learn a language, actually. You have to build your vocabulary. The more words you have, the better you will be able to express yourself. Learning new words could be a challenge. I know that, especially now with German, for example. I'm still a beginner learning German, and that's the same in any language. Learning words is not that easy, but you can make it fun sometimes. Like for example, watching movies or series, sometimes you will find a word that you don't understand and you have it there. You can just go translate it and see what it means, and then maybe you will note it in the context. That's very important. Try when saving a word in another language, you don't just save the word or write the word, only the word. Try to write it in a sentence. That will make it very easy for you then to remember it. Not just like writing the word, for example, table, you just write table. No, just write I'm buying a red table, for example. Write the whole sentence. So learning new words is very important. That will make you able to understand other people and to express yourself in a better way. Try not to speak quickly, okay? Try to take it easy. Speak slowly and make the other person understand you, especially at the beginnings. If you want to speak English rapidly, I understand you're excited and everything, but if you go and speak rapidly in a way that will make the other person not even understand you, like mixing up the grammar or just like pronouncing like with wrong pronunciation, and that's what I see from a lot of people trying to speak English rapidly, so then they speak English not English. They don't speak English. They speak another language, and that's stupid. That's very wrong. So slow down at the beginnings and master the language, master the pronunciation, and then you will just automatically speak the English or any other language rapidly. So slow down at the beginnings. The last and the most important advice I have for you is to try to think in the language, to try to think in English. Try to surround yourself with the language. If you're like not in an English speaking country, have a friend who speaks English, as I said before, have books in English, have watched all stuff like on YouTube and stuff in English. That's how you surround yourself with the language. And as I said, practice like problem solving and thinking in the language, in English. This will help you a lot. Even when you're alone, thinking like, I'll do this or I'll do that, think that usually you think about these things in your native language. And now, if you want to speak English rapidly, try to think in the language. At first, you will feel like it's not usual, like you will just force yourself to think in the language. Few weeks later, you will see just it's like a habit. That's how habits are formed. So those are some tips from my personal experience on how to speak English rapidly, and they can apply for any other language, not just English. And remember, the key to speaking another language is practice, persistence, and patience. With dedication and effort, you can speak the language fluently and more confidently. Thank you for watching and happy learning.